And hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite nerdy podcast. We are here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what's the name of that comic book podcast? It is, of course, ComicXWeeb. That's right. I am James, your co-host, aka Comics for Cheap, aka Send It to James, aka hashtag Road Rage. And I got my co-host here with me.
It's your boy Chris, aka Black.
Oh, we got the music this time.
Santa, aka I'm gonna have to change it, man. You know, now we gonna be Jawanin people. That's what we gonna have to do to people. aka Super Cold Walter. Sponsored by no one. We don't got no damn sponsors.
Yeah, where are the alcohol sponsors when you really need them, bro? I'm just saying.
I still want a water sponsor, but I got you.
Look, don't talk to Nestle about it because they want to own all the water. And that's right, ComicXWeeb. We are here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Hit that like button, smash hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We'd love to catch you every week, and we talk about everything pop culture, mostly comic books, movies, and anime. But here we are today, and I know Chris wanted to kick it off with a certain topic that happened recently. So, Chris, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you.
All right, my man. All right. So, Michigan was playing Wisconsin in college basketball. We're towards the end of the regular season. Michigan was 14-10. They became 14-11 after the loss. So the game was basically over. The game was over. The Wolverines was going to lose. They was getting blown out pretty much. And here's how the event started. So Juwan Howard had his players pressing. And for anybody who don't know what that means, that basically means like full on defense. You're completely on the guy. You're trying to get right up on them, cause turnovers. You're making things uncomfortable. That's what he was doing. Now remember, the game is over. Well, it looked like it almost caused a turnover, or basically did. So what Wisconsin did was his head coach, they got the ball. He called the timeout.
Okay.
When he called the timeout, Juwan Howard, you can see he was angry. Like he was not happy about the timeout call. All right. So, we get to the end of the game, and everybody's doing the handshake line. And this is how you know things, they was wrapped up. You starting to hear the music play on the TV, on ESPN, because the game is over. So the music is playing to end everything out. And they're like, well, Juwan, he looks like he's not even going to go to the table and do the handshake. Looks like he's leaving. Oh, wait. Nope, he's turning around. All right, well, they're wrapping up. Juwan walks over there. And Greg, I think the Wisconsin coach called it is Greg Gard. Excuse me if I'm wrong. I know it's Greg. Excuse me if his last name isn't Gard. But anyway, he walks over there, and Juwan, you can see, is just trying to walk past him. He's just trying to shake and leave, or at least just acknowledge and walk past.
Okay.
Well, Greg don't let that happen. Greg grabs him. Now remember, these are two grown men. You don't ever grab a grown man that you're not even cool with. You don't even you're not friends, and he's already angry. And if the whole world if the commentators in the world know he's angry, he's angry too. So he grabs him, and Juwan's like, don't put your hands on me. Like he's starting to get mad, he's starting to curse. He's not happy. And he's still holding them, and he's trying to, according to him, the reason why he did it, he was trying to explain why he called the timeout. We got
a happy Tuesday since it's 2/22/22 on a Tuesday. Appreciate you, Rob. Hope you're doing well.
I love it. If only it was hump day. Well,
every day's
always hump day. Ladies. Anyway, so he said he was trying to explain why he called the timeout. And he kind of made a jab at Juwan when he was like, well, maybe he didn't know the rules. So that was uncalled for. But either way, Juwan gets angrier and angrier, points his finger at him, gets really pissed to the point where they start to separate. And they're starting to separate, and the music stops playing because they're like, oh, this is getting out of hand. The music stops playing. Looks like they were literally about to cut off and go to the next thing. They said no. So he's getting held back. Everybody else is getting involved. They're starting to pull everybody around. Then something happens where the assistant coach walks up. He says something. I was told that, and it was reported later on too, but I was told by somebody who's actually there, said that it looked like he grabbed one of Michigan's kids, but I don't know how true that is because that's not heavily being reported.
The Wisconsin coach?
Yeah, the Wisconsin assistant coach grabbed one of the kids, and that led, but either way, Juwan mushed or smacked, he slapped the guy basically. And then his players and the Wisconsin players started throwing blows too. Okay. And then it became a little tiny scuffle. It wasn't really a brawl, it was a scuffle. It was more of guys pushing and stuff.
That's one of those. See, I saw like a brief video or whatever of it happening. I didn't really look too far into it, but it looked like one of those like baseball bench clearing, like everyone just kind of grabbing and hugging on each other type of things, like where no real punches were being thrown.
A couple of punches was thrown, and unfortunately, those kids ended up getting suspended. And the reason why I say it's unfortunate is because Juwan Howard and Greg Gard really started this. Mm-hmm. Juwan was like, okay, so Greg should have never grabbed Juwan. Let him walk by you. If he's obviously angry and extremely pissed off, let him walk by you. If you really want to talk to him later on after everything's cooled down. Send a representative, say, hey man, I want to talk. Maybe I can get your number and call you later, or if you want to, talk before we all go our separate ways. If you want,
can I have your number? Can I have your number? Can I have
whatever? He needed to do something. Something
what was
a little
he so
more
emotional about? It's not like Michigan is the greatest basketball team.
Well, okay. Well, you gotta remember, Michigan has that giant history. The Fab Five, the tournament, went to many NCAA championships. Again, the Fab Five and Juwan Howard being a member of the Fab Five, and also being not just a college icon, because Michigan's one of the most iconic schools because of the Fab Five, and Juwan was one of them. And he's also a two-time NBA champion. He was a pretty good player. Had some health issues where he got hurt a lot, but he was a damn solid player. Him, Jalen Rose, Chris Webber. I think Chris is a little overrated, but Chris Webber was a beast too. But anyway, and some people say he's underrated, so that kind of shows how much I really like Chris Webber in the grand scheme of things. Anyway, Juwan. So Greg shouldn't have grabbed him. But Juwan went too damn far. And I like Juwan Howard, and I'm happy he didn't get fired. But there's no circumstance where you smack the other guy. You just don't do that. Hey, you don't lose your cool that much where you do that. Because that started the fight. That started the kids throwing blows because they're like, all right, I got to defend coach now too. He's fighting. We all got to fight. It's a bad situation.
That is true. Like, that's not a good example for the kids on your team because if you see the coach throw a punch or whatever and the other coach about to fight back, I mean, you don't really think about consequences in the heat of that moment. You just think, hey, my coach about to get worked, or we need to like separate or get in the middle of it and everything like that. So, it's not great for the coach to be starting something like that because that kind of just like. I mean, as their role model, as their leader, it kind of blows, like I said, consequences out of the water because you're like, hey, the leader is doing this shit. We should do this shit too. So I'm with you on that one.
That's exactly what I fully agree, and that's exactly the point of it. You can't do that as Juwan Howard, no matter how mad you are. And then again, you're mad. He was mad because of an unwritten rule, whereas like if the game's over, you just let the time run out. You don't call a timeout because it's kind of like you're rubbing it in the other team. But at the same time, he had his players play press. So you can make the argument, okay, well, you wasn't letting the game end neither. You were saying they were playing hard. That's fine. But so the other coach decided to do something too. So again, it's on both sides. I do fully agree that Greg shouldn't have called timeout. But again, you can make the argument about the press. The point is, you can't do that.
Right.
Because you get that angry. And here's what makes it so bad. Jawan has a history because last year he got so mad at another coach. He was screaming and yelling. And he told the guy, I'm gonna fucking kill you. He told another head coach that. So he has the history of getting a little angry.
So it's a little angry. A little angry.
Right. It's like it's escalated from you threatening people to now you're physically assaulting people. Right. Are we going to get to the actual killing of people? So,
let's hope so. That makes some good television. I'll tell you, Sports Center needs something fire on there.
But I like Juwan Howard a lot. I think he's a cool guy, good guy. He's really a great leader, but this was just a really bad situation that went really bad because the players was the one holding him back. The players, there was so many players pushing and holding him back, and then the other players who are fighting and scuffling, I say scuffling more than fighting really, but, pushing around, throwing a couple of blows. It was not good. No way around. So the punishments came down, and Greg was fined $10,000. I'm sorry. Yeah, $10,000, I believe, which, nothing really. I think he should have been suspended a game, maybe two, because he did start the grand scheme of things. Jawan took it to a whole nother level. So, Jawan's punishment was he was fined $40,000. Thank God he didn't lose his job because, again, he don't deserve to lose his job. He's a good man overall. It's just a bad situation. He was fined $40,000.
He just tells a couple people he's going to – I say he's a good man. He just tells a couple people he's going to kill him.
Look, man. Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. But he was also suspended for the rest of the season. Well, here's my problem with that. What I thought it should have been, I don't really care too much about the fines because the fines are really nothing. My thing was he should have been suspended for the rest of the season and tournament play. He should have been suspended for the Big Ten tournament, the NIT, because that's probably what those guys are going to make. I doubt they'll make the NCAA tournament. But if they somehow get hot, win the Big Ten, get lucky, make it in, he should be suspended for that too. He should be suspended for just the rest of the basketball season.
Okay.
And I think they probably should have, and this is the first time I've ever said this, he probably should be mandated to go to some anger management. Because now it's kind of getting a little too far. We're getting a little too far here now. This man smacking people and threatening to kill people. Now he's smacking people. He might start killing people next time. So I think maybe he needs some anger management. Just a little bit.
I mean,
a little bit.
A little bit.
Going about a week. You need a little bit. But he only got the rest of the season, this is my biggest problem with that. It's only 5 games. That's the rest of the year. It's only 5 games in the tournaments, the different tournaments start. So I felt he should have been for the rest of the basketball season. And he should have been sat down, and that should have been it. Because he went too far. You cannot put your hands on another staff member. You can't do that. You just can't do it.
Right.
Definitely when you're that leader, you can't do that.
You're the leader. You're right there. All the cameras are on. Obviously, the press is there. The reporters are there. Everyone's watching. All the others, I mean, not just that, all the other students are there from both schools. I mean, you got a lot of people watching and or looking up to you. A lot of kids follow college basketball as well. So, yeah, I mean, that's, you got to be able to compose yourself. That's why they pay you some big money for these emotional situations that you're getting into. You definitely need to be able to handle yourself properly.
Because remember, he's going in parents' homes and sitting down with them and telling them he's going to take care of their kids. Well, when you're doing stuff like this,
like you're talking about like recruitment and stuff like
that. Yeah. He's the one going in these people's homes. You're not really sending people to do it. You're the one. The head coach is the one usually doing it. So you're going to these kids' homes. You're sitting down saying, "Hey," for the top recruits, obviously, you're like, "Hey, man, I want your kid here. I'm going to do this and do that." Well, what if one of them says, "Okay, that sounds good," and just gets on their phone or their TV, whatever, turn YouTube on and says, "Well, what about this?" and shows this incident and be like, "You got mad over a timeout." That's what it was, a timeout. how are you really gonna prepare my kid for life? What did he says? Does he get mad then too? That's the big problem. You can't
slaps your parents around the living room and shit. oh, you just gonna play this clip? Huh?
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up real quick because that was just such an interesting situation. That I was legitimately watching it and I'm just like, oh crap. My whole thing was literally, please kids don't throw blows. And then Juwan throws the first ball. I'm just like, oh, well, yeah, I did not think that one. I didn't see that one coming.
Right, for sure. Yeah, it is definitely a sticky situation that he should not have gotten a part of, and especially like since it blew up to such proportions. Because of course, like what I just said, all the media there, all the press is there. Football season's over, so a lot of the Sports Center's attention right now is turning towards college basketball with March coming up and everything like that. Yeah. It's just really, really bad timing for him to be pulling some shenanigans like that.
And then it's a robbery game too, so of course you get those kids fired up. It's easy to start a fight.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, I've been there. I've been in, the heated situations of sports games. My sport of choice, of course, was hockey more than, I played some basketball too, but, hockey players are hotheads to begin with. So, they're ready to get into fights over nothing anyway. But at least it's a little more legal to fight in hockey than it is for basketball. But still.
That ain't how that roll in basketball, though.
Yeah. At least.
I told y'all boys about James. James was that dude. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all before. He could have been that star in football. That was Vanilla Vic. Y'all just don't know. Y'all don't even know, bro. He don't even know. But yeah, that's how it was. Vanilla Vic.
But what it came down to when it comes to like the handshake line and everything, you still don't. You kind of put it all behind you. No matter what happened in the game. You'd always kind of put it behind you in the handshake line. So,
what do you think? Because some people are saying they should get rid of the handshake line. What do you think? Should they do that?
It shouldn't be I don't think it should be required. I think it was always silly that it was required. But I would always go to people, be like, good game regardless. Kind of like what they do in football. How they just kind of beat up or whatever. Some people might choose just to go straight to the locker rooms or whatever. The head coaches do their little thing and then jut off. But players, usually will just stick around and just kind of chit chat or whatever on the field for a minute before they head back. That's what I always thought it should be. It shouldn't be like a required, line up and shake hands or whatever. But it should just be like, hey, go over, show your respect to the other team. It's just a game. You know what I mean? Like whatever. And then, go about your business. Go about your day.
I agree with you, and I definitely feel I'm with you on the requirement part because to me it's like, especially if it's like a big championship game and you lose that game, sometimes there are occasions where it's best if you just leave, and you don't go over to the other side and say anything because you might say something wrong. Just leave, just compose yourself, get out. You know, too much has just happened, heartbreaking. You're probably never going to get here again. It's okay. And then later on, definitely with the technology we have now, it's so much easier to tweet out to somebody or, to get in touch with somebody and say, hey, man, good game, bro. I just need some time by myself. But good game. You balled out. Good job. Congrats.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with showing emotion and being in the moment or whatever. Alexis, my wife, always, talks about that for kids, it's okay to express emotion and to be in the moment for a second before going off and doing whatever, and then just take a second, compose yourself and go about what you were doing. So to tell these kids that, you got to kind of suppress that and whatever. Fuck that, man. Like they just worked their ass off for a whole year to get to that moment and then to lose. Not wrong with losing, but they lost, so that they're going to be a little upset about it. So, to immediately after a loss, go over and do whatever, and then we don't talk about the fact that some of these winning teams might be talking a little bit of shit, as well. You know what I mean? So that they might be trying to get under their skin, dig a little bit, throw some jabs, whatever. Emotions might come to the surface for a second there. So I agree. I think that it is okay to just kind of, especially like you said with today, that they could just go on Instagram or go on Twitter or whatever and just be like, hey, good game to you, congratulations.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get you next year, blah, blah, blah. And then kind of go on instead of putting them like right up against each other. That's what I always said about like sticking a mic right into your face right after that too. Like 30 seconds after processing whatever it is. And these kids ain't getting paid. They're not professionals. They're not, they're not like the big time. They're not getting paid for that type of shit. So to stick a mic right in their face after like a devastating loss or something like that. Yeah, they're probably going to say some shit that you don't want to hear on live TV. You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, I would. Fuck. Like, I'm not getting paid. Fuck it. When are you going to find me? The FCC is going to come after me? Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't know. So for them to just go in the locker room, take a shower, get changed, throw some water on their face, just kind of chill for a second, 15 minutes later, then come out and be like, I'm ready to answer whatever kind of questions after that, makes a little bit more sense to me personally.
Agreed.
And there you go. So there's a little bit of our sports segment. Let's roll into, what I've been watching a little bit recently? I've been going back and rewatching The Punisher on Netflix.
Okay. Yeah.
Punisher has been, I don't know, it's just been kind of my go-to recently. I've just been kind of rewatching, going back, watching season 1, and I just I love that. I mean, Punisher has always been like one of my favorites, period. But to go back and rewatch the show, I was like, you know what, man, I hope they keep him. I know there's been a lot of talks with John Bernthal, the actor, coming into the MCU or whatever project they might be trying to slip him into. But I really hope they keep that grit and just like that Punisher vibe that they created with the Netflix show going forward with him. If they end up using him or if they end up using Punisher at all in the MCU, but man, that show was just, I feel like, severely underrated. Did you ever watch it?
I have not watched it, but I do actually plan on watching it sooner than later for sure.
Okay.
Because I definitely want to see a lot more of the Kingpin interactions in that. Because he was in that, or was it Daredevil?
He was Daredevil. Kingpin was in Daredevil.
Okay, it was Daredevil. Okay.
Punisher dealt with Jigsaw. Okay. So yeah, it was Punisher and Jigsaw for season 1, and I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, Jigsaw came into play season 2 as well. But oh my gosh, Chris, you definitely you gotta watch those Netflix series, the Daredevil and Punisher. I highly, highly recommend. I wouldn't worry about like Jessica Jones or Luke Cage. As cool as Luke Cage was for like the first season, or at least the first half of the first season, it kind of fell off for me a little bit towards the end of the first season. It was just meh. Same with Jessica Jones. First season, it started out like super dope for me, but then it just it fell off. And then Defenders, I wouldn't even worry about. Iron Fist, don't even worry about it. But Punisher, season 1 and 2, Daredevil, season 1 and 3, season 2 with Daredevil, it was okay. You know what I mean? Like season 2 with Daredevil dealt a lot with Elektra. And I feel like anytime they put her on the screen, it just doesn't pan out very well.
Man, it does not, man.
You know what I mean? Like,
God, it does, bro.
The Ben Affleck movie, where they had Elektra, the Elektra solo movie, huh?
Oh, good Lord, that movie is so bad. It's so bad. It's like no one wanted to do it, but of course they're being paid, so they're like, all right. Do it. But it was just so bad. The plot was stupid. It looks stupid. It is stupid. Again, her best part, and she has her own damn movie, but her best part in the whole Ben Affleck movie situation or series is when she's training and you got the cool music in the background playing, and then like 5 seconds later she gets killed. Right. Like, that's the best. Right, which is sad.
I don't know. It really, I mean, I just don't know. But anyways, Daredevil season 1 and 3, So season 1 was dealing mainly with Kingpin. There's a big like one-on-one battle that goes down. It's crazy. It's gritty. It's super dope. All the fight choreography in season 1 is just surprisingly extremely dope. And then season 3 deals with Bullseye. And the only negative that I would say about that season is that he never gets into like the Bullseye costume. But it did take a long time for Daredevil to get into the Daredevil costume too. So maybe they thought that like, yeah, because he had like the street costume with like the black mask and stuff. Like he didn't even have the yellow suit. Like he just had like it's just like a black kind of shirt and pants and black mask or whatever. But I will say that what was I gonna? But with their So Bullseye, the least favorite thing about it is that Bullseye never got into the Bullseye costume, which is whatever. But it's still extremely crazy dope. Like I had to go back and rewatch season 3 over again, and I don't usually rewatch stuff like that. Just like I gotta rewatch the whole freaking season. No, it doesn't usually occur. So I'm telling you, Chris, you gotta find a way to watch it, to check it out, because it's so good.
You know, the funny thing, of course, every hero, anti-hero, whatever, has their weird guy in their gala of villains or whatever. And the one that always cracks me up is the Punisher, that like German bodyguard who eventually gets killed. Punisher like kills him, whatever, and he comes back with boobs. It's so weird because Punisher kills him. He comes back with boobs, and then like he's this German big guy, and he's big, swole, and he's like that German killer or whatever. But then he has the boobs, and then he becomes to love the fact that he has boobs. It's just so freaking weird. I'm like, I can't remember his name, but it's so freaking hilarious to me. Like just that.
Let's see. Punisher. I can't even find it. You said it's a German villain?
Yeah, he I believe he's German or Scott. I think he's German.
I have no idea. Does someone know? If someone knows in the chat, just let us know. Kind of
let us know.
Was he a minor villain? I don't even remember this dude.
He was basically like a henchman, and then he became a little bit more important after he got his boobs.
He got his boobs. It's ridiculous. It was funny. Yeah, I mean, Punisher. Look, I'm really hoping that he comes out in the Armor Wars series or show, because that's kind of what's been the most heavily rumored, I guess. Because there was, in the comics, he does don the War Machine armor and kind of go on a little bit of a rampage. So if he were to do that in the Armor Wars show, that would be pretty crazy. But yeah, no, I've just been loving just going back and rewatching, especially the stuff with like Billy Russo and everything like that, the betrayal, him just putting people down. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And I actually had a conversation with someone recently about like going back and reading certain comics and just wondering how the hell they get out of stuff alive. And I feel like the Punisher show plays closest to the fact that you can't dodge every single bullet or whatever that comes your way, just because of the amount of times that he is shot or he is stabbed and whatever. But like, just he kind of is able to use his knowledge and his prowess to help himself, to fix himself, to uses Micro as his teammate to help in certain situations as well. Because it is always kind of silly, to read a Punisher comic where he goes into a firefight with there's like 7 people against one, and he just emerges like, nothing touched him or whatever.
True. That's true, because you got to remember, Punisher is not some metahuman with some crazy reflexes and everything. He's basically a regular guy. You know, he's not no mutant or no hero, no guy who, you know, he's not even like, you know, with Daredevil, who got some chemicals in his eyes that gave him some extra stuff. Like, he's just a regular guy.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, he's Marine trained, but like still, you know.
But he's still a regular guy. No superpowers enhancements in there.
I've got a cousin who's Marine trained, and you know, like Green Beret or whatever they call like that high level, like definitely has killed some people. Level of shit. But you know what? I don't see him dodging a whole bunch of bullets. You know, maybe, I don't know, but I don't see him, you know, being the Punisher. So it is kind of like
Malcolm Ernest could dodge some bullets. Fully confident.
So I mean, sometimes it is a little bit silly. Yeah, he's got that killer instinct, says Philly Phil. He's got to have something, man. He's got to have some kind of sixth sense to get out of some of that stuff, because you know, in the comic books, it is definitely a little ridiculous how little he gets hurt. But in the show, I think that they do a good job of showing that he is just a man and he can get hurt, but he still works through, you know, what he's dealt with.
Okay, so let's have some fun, because you've heard many, and even up here, I've done some many scenarios of how I would introduce somebody, and you heard tons of them over the years. So how would you introduce the Punisher in the current MCU? What movie would you put him in to introduce him?
Oof.
And how would you do it?
Man. I honestly, it is hard to think about, like, right now, the way that the MCU is moving, how you would introduce a street level hero. Because so much of what's going on is just so much bigger than Punisher. So it would be hard to think of, like, that's a really good question.
Because, you know, when they did Shang-Chi, they still made it's so much different because of what he had to deal with than compared to the Punisher. Because the Punisher is just dealing with, you know, his family. Because if you introduce him, you know, his family dying and like regular grunts, you know, basically, and potentially like a Kingpin or something like that. But still, it's regular grunts, where Shang-Chi had to deal with this mystical, crazy stuff. So there's a difference there. Because he was a street. I've said it before. You know, he's a cool character. I always liked him, but he always came across as a B rank hero.
Punisher?
And then the MCU did a great job of making him so much more important. Even changing the ring, the rings, the actual like rings instead of like finger rings, like changing all of that stuff. They even had to change everything, but they still made him so much more powerful and, you know, so much more interesting.
Yeah.
So
well, they had to keep him.
They had to.
If they're gonna bring Shang-Chi into the MCU right now, they definitely had to up him a little bit. So for sure. But with Punisher, okay, so for Punisher, the way that things are going, the only kind of street level stuff that's going down is the Echo show that's coming up, which we both know, you know, everything that's going on with between that and Hawkeye and whatever. So I don't know how I would feel about it, but I would assume that would probably be the best place to slip him in if you're not going to put him in Armor Wars. Just because I don't think Frank Castle, the way that he is, and I don't really support trying to turn him into some like intergalactic whatever. Like, I think that no, like they have done stories about that. We've all seen it, you know, whatever. We've seen, you know, Frank Castle become the Cosmic Ghost Rider and shit like that. No, I don't want any of that. I just want, you know, street level Castle. So I say in the Echo show would be probably my number one place to put him, or the Armor War show would be number two. Maybe Castle appears in Moon Knight. Very doubtful. Yeah, they did have some. They do have some history together between Moon Knight and Frank Castle. Punisher and Moon Knight together. They're both fucking crazy, right? So they're both, you know, crazy murderers. So I mean, that could make sense, but I think that Moon Knight is going to introduce Blade Honestly, I think that he's going to go more like mystical beasts type shit, more than like street level crime.
And honestly, you can't do both. You would have to choose because you don't want one to overshadow the other.
Exactly.
And if I'm gonna choose, I'm definitely gonna choose Blade because one, we already had this dude hired, and seriously, we need to have him do something.
Well, I mean that, and also like not only like the characters themselves outshine each other, but like plot lines of hunting like werewolves or vampires or whatever versus just some ordinary street thugs, drug movers, that type of shit. Like it's definitely different types of storylines that you would be trying to mold together into a single season.
And it would be more interesting, like you said, fighting against some crazed up vampire than some mafia boss.
Right, or like, some kind of like creature monster type thing. That's what I want to see out of Moon Knight. I want to see him have to because we know he's crazy. I want to see some crazy shit that matches his crazy. Frank Castle, we know he's crazy, but different kind of crazy. I want to see some crazy matched up with him. And I think that's going to be the way that they set up Echo anyway, coming out of the Tracksuit Mafia, like mafia-related ties, Kingpin-related ties, shit like that. That all kind of makes more sense for a Punisher type to come in and either be on her side, be against her, or both maybe throughout the series. Something's got to be more like exciting than just an Echo show. I'm
making an assumption that Kingpin will probably be in the Echo show, considering how you said it ended. So she would probably be, gearing up to like try to kill her or something.
Yeah, I would absolutely, because I mean, we all know we didn't see Kingpin die on screen. The same kind of shit happened in the comic book where she shoots him in the head, and he makes it. So I'm assuming that's what's kind of being set up there, that he is going to make it, and he is still alive, and he's going to want his revenge. Great. So now, with Echo's kind of history, I think that she makes a good target for Frank, right? And that Frank realizes what's going down, and then he turns his sights to Kingpin. I think that would be a good one.
It would be cool if he was targeting her first, like you said, because he would be like, well, I know what you've done and blah, 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 and I don't trust you, I don't like you, and this and that. That would be kind of cool. And then, like you said, of course, at the end, they kind of team up and handle business. But it's funny because you reminded me of the Punisher Ghost Rider crap. And, our favorite guy, Mephisto. I love how this dude will grant your wishes, but he just screws you over. Because he's like, I want to be, the Ghost Rider basically to take out Thanos. And it's like, yeah, cool, sure, here you go. And then it was like, yeah, but you can't leave Earth. And Thanos is not here anymore, so. Your soul is mine! Hey, have a good time. And you'll be joining me in my hell, so have fun. That was it. It always cracks me up. And it's just like, God, he got you good. But that's what he does.
Of course, yeah. It's Mephisto. Right. Mephisto. How would you introduce the Punisher in today's MCU?
Man, see, that's the fun part about it, because I'm with you overall on the Echo thing. Because you're just looking at the movies that's coming out, and it's just like he doesn't really fit into any of them, does he?
That's what I'm saying.
Because you got the stuff that's going on, you can have him make a cameo in something. I mean, obviously it's not going to happen now. I mean, it could happen, but you could have had him make like a cameo in the Doctor Strange movie, since he's gone through all these different scenarios.
Bro, everyone's making a cameo in the Doctor Strange
movie. What I'm saying. Have you
heard the new rumors for that shit?
Hey, Deadpool going to be there now?
Have you heard the new rumor? Well, yeah, so Deadpool.
I heard about Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds took like a picture or whatever, and so that happened.
I heard that one, yeah.
Wolverine is now being rumored. I don't know why. I'm not exactly sure. But apparently Wolverine is now being rumored for the Doctor Strange movie.
I can see Charles bringing up Wolverine name, saying Logan or Wolverine, talking about a guy he had he has on his team. I can see that happening. But him actually being there, huh?
Okay. But you know the name they're attaching? Daniel Radcliffe, aka Harry Potter. This is just what I've seen online. I'm not sure if there's any merit to it. I don't know how much truth there is going on.
Maybe I'm hearing you wrong, but you did not just say Harry Potter is Wolverine.
Oh yeah, dude. He's gonna come in with his magical sorcery. You know, he's like, all right, bub. Expecto Patronum!
Oh my god, no.
Some shit like that. Rob says you can link Frank's family dying as collateral damage to so many moments in the MCU. The Winter Soldier movie, the attack on New York, the blip, as long as his family dies and puts him on the path. Yeah, but if they're going to use the same guy, I mean, they're going to use the same backstory, is my thing. I don't want to change his backstory. I want like what he's done to still be established. I want to bring him into the MCU, not bring like the MCU into him kind of thing.
And then here's the problem with that, though, because if you go down that route, then his target is more than likely going to be the heroes.
Right.
Because most of those villains aren't there who you would say caused the collateral damage. So he's going to be going after the heroes. So are you like, what chance does he have against mostly any of them on the Avengers? And then so you're going to overpower him and make him that much stronger coming in? That comes to what you were saying earlier. You don't want him to come in there OP and crap. Like, no, Hawkeye shoot an arrow at him. This man just dodges it point blank range, catches it, and throws it back. Like, come on, bro. That sounds cool at all, but no.
Especially since he gets shot with an arrow in the show. Like, he just straight up, like, through the shoulder, gets shot with it. Like, well, then why didn't you catch that arrow, motherfucker? Like,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, this is the same shit.
Captain Marvel's going to charge in for a punch. He's going to catch her hand with one hand. Like
Frank Castle beats the shit out of Binary Captain Marvel.
Right. Like, wait a minute. Hold on. What's happening here? He takes Thor's hammer and smacks him with it. Like, stop. Stop it. Stop it. So it's like, what are you going to do? Because even if you say he's going after the villains who caused it, then he's still going after people out of his range.
Yeah,
because again, he's not going after the street thugs. He's going after these cosmic beings, these aliens. Right. I mean, let's not have him too overpowered. Let's have him as a known person. At least if we're going to get there, let's get there later.
The Punisher is like Batman. If he has enough time, he can come up with a plan to ambush you. I think that's the first time I've heard Punisher being compared to Batman.
He's not Batman. I know we have that comic where Punisher kills all the... Yeah, I get all that. But again, that was a what if. Legitly, he ain't doing that crap. And yeah, he's not
talking about the Batman Punisher crossover comic.
No, there's like a comic just it's similar to like Deadpool kill the Marvel Universe. It's the Punisher kills the Marvel Universe. It's like he has one like that too. But again, like no.
Yeah, I mean, nah.
No. Meh. I don't want all that. You just gotta be a little careful with that. But yeah, I mean,
plus the Punisher is not like Batman. Punisher will put a cap in your ass real quick, but Batman ain't doing nothing like that.
No, Batman's not. But let's also be straight up. Punisher, like on a serious level, Batman kicks Punisher's ass.
Yeah, I think so.
Like I don't even think it's really a fight. If Batman is if we're saying both of them are bloodthirsty and they're both out there fighting to kill, Batman is going to crush this dude.
Because Punisher, like while Punisher is very skilled and he isn't afraid to kill, most of what he deals with, like, aren't very high level villains.
Where Batman has dealt with the top of the top.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I love Punisher. He's one of my top stories to read ever since I was a kid, whatever. But to sit down and be honest, 90% of the stories that I read about Punisher is just dealing with like drug dealers, whatever, like just kind of like little mafia bosses or stuff like that. People basically like what Batman just takes out Falcone in an issue, like. Punisher will spend a couple of issues dealing with a Falcone type, instead of like Batman dealing with the Joker or the Riddler or the Penguin for a couple of issues. Like he's dealing with, Like again, no hate on Punisher. Obviously,
no hate at all. No,
it's
no
just
hate at all.
it's a very different villain scheme going on.
Yeah,
there.
it's a different landscape.
Power scaling wise, like I just can't see Punisher taking Batman.
No.
Frank can plan ahead to give himself an escape plan. Batman is far superior in every way, but Frank will fight dirty. Frank will fight dirty. There's no argument there.
Yeah, he's gonna fight dirty.
I just don't know. It would be interesting, but I
because
think
you got also remember Batman is a guy who is literally trained in like every martial art. You know, he's trained with people like Wonder Woman, with Superman. Like he's trained in crazy intense situations where Frank Castle is, you know, a very talented guy, but he don't have that kind of training.
And also, he doesn't have to deal with that kind of threat. Like he don't involve himself in that kind of threat.
He's not really like okay. So if like let's say I don't know, any big time hitter from DC kind of shows up and Batman show up, you're like, all right, Batman's here. All right, you might be able to do something. If Thanos really shows up and like Frank Castle show up, I don't think everybody's like, yay, the Punisher's here. He's gonna do something. It's like, damn, dude, why'd you show up? You're gonna die too. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, even less than Thanos. I mean, we could talk about like, for fuck's sake, I don't know.
Like if Magneto show up, what is he gonna do?
Yeah,
his guns are gonna be completely destroyed, and it's like, shoot, Frank, why are you here?
A lot of the X-Men villains he probably wouldn't be able to take. Well, no, shit, a lot of Spider-Man's villains he probably wouldn't even be able to take.
No, because even with the Spider-Man thing, he had to again fight dirty and like snipe this dude where Spider-Man, you know, supposedly could not tell, but obviously Spider had spider sense. But still, like it's every time he's going after Spider-Man, it's like he's sneaking, trying to get him. Where
well, that was very early. But Spider-Man still worked that ass. Like,
no, I'm saying, but that's what he does to try to get an advantage over somebody like that. And again, Spider-Man is awesome and great, but he's definitely not he's not the strongest person out there you could face.
No, for sure. And I mean, we got to remember that Punisher showed up in the comics and he was just a basic, simple hitman. Like he wasn't really anything. Like there was a while before Punisher became Punisher. Yeah, I mean, we had Punisher's first showed up in Amazing Spider-Man 129. He then again showed up in 134 and 135, and then it was a while. Like he didn't show up again really until like 185-ish. I mean, that's like a 50-issue gap. I mean, you know, between appearances, I mean, if it was published twice a month, it's a little less than a year. But if it was published once a month, it's about a year difference. And then finally, I mean, he wasn't. Conway wasn't even really the one to shape Punisher into who he was today. Again, like I said, he was just a hitman. We didn't really get anything until Garth Ennis started really molding Punisher, and then, you know, he became more of a hit and had his own series and that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. So.
But yeah, this ain't us trying to turn on Punisher because we.
No, again, I'm not turning on Punisher.
We're not trying to bury this dude. We're not. It's just
that's not really what he started out with.
Right. We're just bringing some facts up in here, but we need to go back a little bit because even though I was trying to figure out how to put Punisher in, you got my mind messed up. Harry Potter as Mother Wolverine? Are you serious?
This is just what I've been seeing. I haven't really put much stock into it or looked around. Just one comment here says Frank would have rubber bullets ready for Magneto and bind him with flashbangs, getting close and shank him with a sharpened toothbrush. I would love to see it.
I would love to see it too, but that's not how it's going to actually work out.
Can someone please write the Frank Castle versus Magneto storyline? This is fantastic. It's not going to get very far, but you know,
that version that happens when Frank wins, he wakes up from right before, like that's a flash of what he thought was going to happen, and then we get to reality, and Magneto's already about to snap his neck. So then the comic ends with Frank
Magneto's
dying.
throwing a whole ass building at him. You know what I mean?
Yes, because it's like even if you have rubber bullets and all that stuff, Magneto can still use the crap around him. And even if you somehow stop it, I still like Magneto chances more against Frank than Frank against Magneto.
Yeah. What's he going to use? Like a shotgun, beanbag shotgun? Like, come on, man. Like, what are we really going to do here? Like, I don't know.
A guy that can fly and has superhuman reflexes, too, like Magneto. Yeah. Don't think it's going to be very well, but yeah. But again, Harry Potter?
Yeah. So, okay. So, what I've been seeing, there was like this rumor that went around, I guess, Saturday. It started. And it was basically just, Wolverine rumored for the MCU. And so, again, Wolverine rumored for Doctor Strange. And, like, here I am thinking, everyone's fucking rumored for Doctor Strange. We're almost getting into a situation where, same as No Way Home. Oh, everyone's being rumored for this movie.
God, okay. I hope this ain't the trend moving forward.
Right? I'm saying. Well, I mean, that is kind of like how I feel, but also nobody's talking about it's only certain projects I feel like that everyone just kind of goes in on and talks about, and in other projects we just get absolutely nothing. Like Moon Knight is coming out in 30 days or whatever, and fucking nobody's really speculating on that shit. Like, I mean, obviously, like, kind of, but like nobody's really talking about, oh, this guy's gonna show, oh, this guy, oh, this could be that from the trailer, and like every single like screenshot second by second of the trailer or anything like that. Everyone's just like, oh, I'm excited for Moon Knight, or oh, I'm not excited for Moon Knight. It's just one or the other. Doctor Strange is just one of these ones that like everyone's just freaking out over. And again, I've just been saying over and over again, please don't get too excited, because you don't fucking know if this is just going to be a flashback, if this is going to be like a 2-second appearance, and then it's just going to be close that dimension. I mean, we honestly really don't know what's going to happen here. So if Wolverine is legitimately like whatever, like, again, it could be just this alternate dimension that you see him for like 3 seconds and then it closes or something like that. But then, of course, everyone just started attributing like names to it, and the name that stuck apparently was Daniel Radcliffe. Again, I have no idea how true this is. I can look it up right now, and we'll see.
Again, because that's just like if he was to be cast as Wolverine, that's the same effect. And it's obviously, I'm not saying he's a bad actor. That's not what I'm going with. But what I'm saying is there's certain roles that you don't give people because of like body structure and just the way their other characters are, and just off of like Harry Potter and freaking Wolverine are not the same. And then the biggest thing is this. It reminds me of when they cast Eric Foreman. I'm sorry, I don't know his real name. Eric Foreman as freaking Venom.
Yeah.
And even he said it himself on multiple interviews. I thought it was a terrible idea too. I told them, you should not cast me for that.
Right.
He said it himself. Because it looked and it was bad.
It was bad.
That's what this would be.
So, I hate the fact that actors do get typecast. But when a movie was, or even a franchise, okay, is as monumental and worldwide as Harry Potter was, whether you like the series, you don't like the series, whatever it was, it's a multi-billion-dollar movie and book franchise with a theme park and like everything. It still holds. If you go into any Barnes & Noble across the nation, there will be an entire wall dedicated to Harry Potter. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, this is 25 years after the first book was released, 20 years after the first movie was released, right? It's still that like important and monumental as a series. And so using him in anything, it's going to be very hard to look at him as an actor in any kind of role and be like, and not say, your first thing that you'd say is not, hey, look, it's Harry Potter doing whatever. And I think that he's had this struggle in his career since that last movie wrapped, he's tried to do multiple things since then, including a play, including multiple movies that have not panned out very well. And it's hard for anything to really take off because of who he is. Like it sucks, but I get it.
It's also a look. You have to have a certain look to be Wolverine. He does not have that look.
Yeah, he really doesn't.
Like, you can be a good actor. You can be a great actor. But if you don't have a certain look for a certain character, you shouldn't be playing that role.
I would not be surprised if we get a lot of glimpses into other universes when we see the Tom Cruise Superior Iron Man, the Harry Potter Wolverine, and the Jim from The Office Reed Richards. Now, okay, so one person that has definitely like overcome that stigma is Jim from The Office. I'm trying to remember his fucking name, but I can't remember. It's John Krasinski. He has definitely, I guess, changed his look enough, or because he came from a TV show transitioning into movies. He definitely was able to overcome that. Like, he beefed up, he got in the gym, he looks the part for like an action role now. He did the little thing with Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan for Amazon that actually went pretty well. So like what I'm saying, and The Office, as big as The Office was, it was enough of a change, I guess. And there was like I don't know, some people can surpass it and some people can't. Like the chick that played
certain roles that everybody can't play every single role though,
right?
Because of certain looks. Like you can't have like to play Wolverine, you have to have a certain look.
I honestly think that they should go with a no name for Wolverine. They should bring in somebody.
You can do that. Yeah. You don't have to pick a big time actor to play Wolverine.
Right.
As long as the dude can do the job right, that's all you need.
They chose a Broadway singing dude to play Wolverine to begin with. And everyone was like, what the fuck? This is ridiculous.
Right. Okay? Remember when he was cast as Wolverine? Yes.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people like, he can't do this role.
Right.
But he had the look.
Right.
He looked perfect for the role.
He had the look, and he had the grit, and he had the acting chops, and he was built, and he was just enough of like good looking to get the girls in the theater and everything like that. So that's kind of what we need going forward. But we need someone like, we need someone new. We need someone with no history attached to them. I feel like for this role, could Daniel Radcliffe play someone else in the MCU? Sure,
absolutely.
You know what? I'm not saying that he can't. I'm just saying for someone as important and like as judged as Wolverine, probably not so much. Yeah, he's short, but like we could find another short actor. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that, I mean, we'll see. I think John Krasinski would be a great Reed Richards, though. I'm not going to argue that at all. He's kind of got that look with the hair. I mean, he's got a little bit of the look going on. He's tall. Yeah. He's like thinner. Not saying anything, but I'm taller and thinner, so maybe like I could be a good Reed Richards. I'm just saying I got a little bit of gray.
I think you would be, bro. I think you'd be.
I got a little gray coming in. You know what I mean? Like you can add a little extra gray. You can add a little extra gray. I could do some shit. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring. No, I'm just messing. But like he is kind of that look, so it does make sense for that play. Plus, the internet's been like hollering for it for 5+ years for John Krasinski as Reed Richards. So that's different. Nobody's been fucking hollering for Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine.
No,
you don't have the support of the people on that choice.
No, you don't. No, you don't. But it is going to be interesting. Like I said, if I was them, I would definitely mention Wolverine. I would do that. No question about it. I would have Charles mention him. But if I was to show him, it would literally be, like you said, a 3-second back shot of opening into another dimension, and you kind of see him like charging at somebody or something. But you're not really gonna see who he is, and you're not really gonna get anything on it. I'll be saving that so when he actually shows up to the current dimension, whatever the case may be. But you can get that. But honestly, I would just name him. I would just have him be named.
Yeah, named or hinted at, or something like that. Because, I mean, there's going to be so much going on in this movie already.
That's what I'm saying. And if you have Wolverine kind of show up, you might have to actually have him do more than just be a cameo because it's Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like you can easily get away with something like that with Deadpool because it'd be for jokes and comedy and this and that. But for Wolverine, the fact that everyone's favorite X-Men, you probably need to have him do things. But you got too much crap going on in this movie. It's like the same thing with the Venom thing. That's why I was telling everybody he will not be in the actual movie. It will be more best case scenario end credit, which he was.
Right. Yeah, and now we don't. I don't even know what's going on with Venom. To be honest,
he's back in Sony Apocalypse. He's back over there.
Yeah,
Sony
like he was
basically a Siberia of the MCU, if you want to call it that. Obviously, it's not even the MCU, but I'm just saying.
But he left a piece of Venom in the MCU.
Yeah, I know.
So does that mean we're getting a new Venom, or does that mean we're getting?
I'm assuming this is how we definitely he's gonna hunger after Spider-Man. This is going to be his thirst for Spider-Man. It's just a piece, but still. He's going to hunger after Peter, and with everything Peter's going through, we might end up getting that dance sequence, bruh. We might get it, bruh.
He's going to hunger after Peter is a pause-worthy sentence right there. I'll tell you that. Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. You know what has released? You mentioned Thor a couple minutes ago, but my favorite type of leak occurred where Thor Lego set was announced.
Here you go.
Yeah, so people are a little upset about the announcement or I don't know, like it wasn't really an announcement. I mean, they kind of announced it when they announced that Jane Foster was coming back, but basically they show her with the hammer and everything in Thor getup. They also show well, I guess some people didn't really realize that's what was happening. I don't know.
What?
I don't know. I'm just saying that.
Dude, like, I know tons of casual fans, and every single one of them even knows she's going to be Thor.
Right.
So I'm sorry, but I don't see that as a spoiler whatsoever. I mean, that's kind of like that's what's going to be happening.
That's how I felt about it too. But I was like, out of all the spoilers that Lego has made, this one was definitely minor. They also showed Gore the God Butcher, as a minifig, but we kind of knew we knew Christian Bale was cast as him. Mm-hmm. That's I would say that's an example of a movie that nobody's really talking about.
No one's talking about. I have not heard much interest in that at all, bro. Neither you and I have any interest in it, really. So.
It's not that I really don't have too much interest. I really think that what's going to happen is just Gore is going to kill Thor, and we're going to get Jane Foster, and we're going to move on from there. We're going to get some maybe some fallout from the Guardians movie. I don't remember which one comes first, but something like that. That's really going to be it. Maybe we'll get some play into some sort of tie-in with the Eternals or something like that, Eros or Pip or whatever. But yeah, other than that, I don't think there's going to be like huge consequences to that movie. I could be wrong, but I really don't think I am.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally the no interest at all. Like, I'm with you, everything you said. The only thing I differ on, I still kind of feel that you don't have to kill Thor, but I fully agree. I understand your logic completely, and it makes way more sense. But that's the only thing I differ on. I'm like, maybe
who else would he kill though?
Odin's son's ass or whatever. But I will always hate that name. You can kick his ass or whatever, but I don't think I don't think he needs to like die. But
who would Gore kill if it wasn't Thor?
I like what I can't remember who said it last week, but they were talking about Hercules. And other people.
You think they would bring in Hercules just to kill him? See, I think they're going to bring in Hercules to replace Jane. I think Jane's going to have a very short-lived life in the MCU, and they're going to replace
kind of
her.
overall how she had a short-lived thing in store. Wasn't really that long.
Right. Well,
she bombed at it too.
I mean, as far if you're going to take a look at like how long she was in the comics in comparison to how long Thor has been a comic, yeah, it was not that long at all. I mean, a couple of years maybe, if that, right? 2-3 years.
That's what I'm saying. I think it was like a year, maybe 2, maybe.
I was gonna say, I think it was at least 2 because she had her little Mighty Thor run, and then she had her run as Thor.
Okay,
so there was a little bit of that, but yeah, I mean, if we're looking at it in that respect, I don't think she's gonna have a very long run. Let's see if I could. I'm trying to find the Thor: Love and Thunder set and see if there were any other characters that were listed here. Looks like we do have something. So we have Mighty Thor, Thor. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can share this screen real quick.
Yo, it'll be the funniest thing is because everybody and their grandmother is like, okay, yeah, she's going to take over the store. Wouldn't it be hilarious is all she gets is just a scene where she has the hammer, but she actually doesn't take over the store? And they actually just make her like the new Valkyrie, basically, like she is in the comics now. That would be freaking hilarious to me.
Do you think that's what would happen?
No, I'm saying that would be hilarious. I would like be surprised, but in a good way if that happened.
So we have Mighty Thor, Thor, King Valkyrie, Korg, and Gore. So that's the characters that are coming. So King Valkyrie. It's interesting.
Bro, what if she does take over as Valkyrie? She's the new Valkyrie.
So she's Thor and Valkyrie. I predict Zeus and Jane dying at Gore's hand. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here's a insight.
What happened?
JBK's dad says, I predict Zeus and Jane dying at Gore's hand. That's interesting. I don't know. Zeus I could see, but it would be interesting to introduce and kill Zeus in one movie.
It would be interesting to do that,
especially with a major actor attached to that name, with Russell Crowe.
See, now that he said that, dude, it really got my definitely what I was saying a little bit earlier. It got my imagination going, bro. Because it's like, man, there is some interesting steps they can do that would completely get my interest back and completely shock and shake everything up if they was to do stuff like that. And then like Foster's not really the new Thor. Like she either gets killed herself or she takes over another role. Oh my God. Dude, there's some cool stuff they could actually do. But I really do think it's just going to be the cookie cutter thing.
Yeah. I really don't know. I think that it's cool that we're getting the same director attached to it. Taika Waititi is going to be the director of this, or is the director of this movie. So at least we have some continuation there, some continuity in effect. I don't know, man. Like in Marvel, we trust, right? Hopefully they get it correct, but that one, no one seems to be talking about. You know what I mean? Like what I was saying.
Honestly, like they kind of set themselves up for that though, because again, unless they shock us all, you know, having Jane Foster become Thor is beyond boring and lame. And it bombed in the comics. It didn't do well at all. They had to change things right back. And obviously, of course, it's comics, so a lot of things go back to the beginning anyway. But still, this is one of those things I was like, shit, all right. We fucked up. Hurry up. Get them back. And then just throw her out for a while. Then we'll bring her back again and give her another role, a much lesser role.
The series wasn't terrible, though. I've read the series. You thought it was terrible?
People.
I read it, and honestly, I mean, it wasn't. I didn't think it was like the most outstanding or stellar thing. I'm not a big Thor reader to begin with, but reading, you know, I read a good chunk of Jane Foster Thor, like her when it was just Thor. I don't know about the Mighty Thor or whatever, but basically from when she picks up the hammer onwards. And I didn't hate it. I thought I would, but I didn't hate it. I thought Malekith had was very amusing throughout it. Some other shenanigans that was going on with the between the Frost Giants and everything like that. I thought, it wasn't, like I said, I didn't think it was terrible. It really just depends how they do it in the movie, like what they're gonna seek to accomplish.
Yeah, I thought it sucked. I thought it was terrible, and
he was like, "Yeah, it was fucking awful."
Yeah.
According to toy leaks, somehow Mjolnir is put back together, but the cracks from Hela destroying it are still visible. Okay. I didn't realize that's. I thought we just got the old Mjolnir, but apparently not. How are they going to explain that? What, are we going to have two Mjolnirs? Are they both going to hold it?
Are they both going to hold it? Now that right there could be talking out of context. Are they both going to hold it?
No, I'm just saying. Are they both going to put it in their hands?
How big is it?
Yeah, for real. Is one bigger than the other? Are they gonna use some magic glue? You know what? Actually, they were talking about the dwarf coming back in the new movie. God, I forgot his name. It starts with an E. Is it like Eerie? No, it's not like, I don't know what fucking the name is. You know who I'm talking about, right? The guy who made the weapon.
Who made
Stormbreaker in the movies? They're
talking about bringing him back.
Yeah, they're saying that he's going to be appearing again in Thor 4.
That means he could be the one who kind of fixes things with
who puts it back together. Or something.
He could be the one that helps out to do that. That can make sense in that aspect,
right?
Because in the movie scenario, that makes a lot of sense in the MCU.
Yeah, so
that can make a lot of sense. He could be the one to really do that, so that could be fine. And then he couldn't completely do it because the cracks will still be there. But no, that makes sense.
I mean,
that could be cool.
I just don't know why they would want two hammers though, because we have the hammer that he brought back from the past.
Right.
Thank you, Eitri. I was like, Irie? No, that doesn't sound right. Eitri.
Maybe we have two Thors.
Yeah, and then they fight each other and they jerk each other off. Whose dick do you think is bigger, Jane or Thor?
It's the MCU, so James.
I knew it. God damn
it. Yep.
Oh goodness.
So that.
Yeah. I mean, unless Thor loses his hammer again, I don't, because he has his right from Endgame.
Right.
He got it back. Right. He's going moving forward. He still has it. He told Valkyrie that she's going to be the new person in charge of New Asgard or whatever they're calling it. But long story short, he's got the hammer. So then we're going to have that hammer, and then we're going to have the one that's put back together. So Jane finds the broken hammer in, where the fuck were they? Iceland or Greenland or wherever the fuck they were. When Odin died and Hela broke the hammer. Are the pieces still there on that hill? Nobody's stumbled across it while they were trying to fuck a sheep or whatever the fuck they do out there in Northern Europe.
Okay, way to just disrespect people like that. Maybe somebody did find it and it's kept somewhere, and then somebody just shows up and this is where it is, and I don't know. Somebody might put it on eBay and say, I'm selling
it. Can you imagine? Can you lift it?
That's how Jane comes across it. She finds it on eBay.
She buys it on eBay. Bro, that'd be the best origin story of all time. She buys broken Mjolnir on eBay. So here's my question. can it be picked up if it's in pieces, or is it still impossible to pick up?
Bro, considering how like that hammer has lost his thirst over the years, anybody can pick it up nowadays. Hey, again, they even made a joke in comments about like how anybody can pick it up now. It don't matter. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll be easily to be picked up. They might even make a little joke about it and have some fun with it. I'm pretty sure they probably will. So yeah, some jackass could have found it, not truly knowing what it is, and just sells it, or some villain shows up, or some crap happens where somehow
isn't it on like the moon or some shit when Jane actually gets it in the comics? Like it's just chilling on the moon, or it's something like that. I thought.
Well, I mean, this is the MCU, so they don't really follow the comics completely, so it really doesn't matter.
No, I know. I was just like trying to think about, like, it's definitely put together. It's not in pieces or nothing when she shows up, but I thought it was on the moon. And then Jane just kind of shows up. They don't even show that it's her. It's just somebody shows up, picks it up, and goes on about their business. And you're like, oh, who could it be for 5 issues? And it's such a mystery. I don't know who it could be. But in this scenario, I don't know. I feel like I could see them just being like, Thor hands it over. I would hate to see that, but I could just see that like Thor just has his whatever. I don't know if he's still fat or whatever, or he got back into shape. Thor realizing it takes more effort to take off the pounds than put on the pounds. I don't know, but he just kind of he's like, you know what, fuck Planet Fitness. I'm gonna just hand over the Mjolnir to Jane.
I don't know, man. Again, like soon as Thor got his hammer back, the stories in the comics have been so good and so epic. Well, it's just like, thank God Thor is actually back and not that crap they was doing with that girl. But
Donny Cates took over Thor for a little while too.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe, hell, maybe they got some great ideas for her. She becomes Thor, and they got some excellent ideas and stuff. Who knows? I mean, I got a feeling Odin's gonna come back later.
Nah, I don't.
Not in this movie at all, but I do. I would be beyond shocked if Odin. Matter of fact, I'll call it now. Odin's gonna be in Jane Foster's standalone movie. Odin will make an appearance some way, somehow in that movie. I'm calling it now.
In Thor,
she's going to get a standalone movie, obviously.
Well, this is her standalone movie.
No, it's not. No, her actual standalone movie. Not because technically this is still Thor's movie until she takes over. But no, when she get her movie, I'm calling it now. Odin's going to make an appearance.
Really? You think they would bring Odin back?
Odin's gonna make an appearance
a decade later,
and Thor's mother's gonna show up in there.
Okay, that I can see more than Odin coming back.
Trust me, bro. Odin's gonna come back.
Why? What purpose would that serve for Odin to come back?
So I think there's a bunch of purposes it can serve. One, it could be a thing for him to truly see if she really is worthy of it. Two, it could be something where he needs to explain something to her, some secrets of something of the villain she's facing, because it could be a threat from his past or something like that. And she needs some guidance that she can get from him, and Thor's not there if he is killed or if he's just gone or whatever the case may be. So there's different purposes he can serve, and it doesn't have to be like a big purpose.
Would it be like a Star Wars Qui-Gon from beyond the whatever?
It could be that where it's just like somewhat of a Asgardian hologram, basically. But I honest to God believe, dude, I'm serious. I really believe he's going to make a comeback. I would be beyond shocked if Odin does not come back in the MCU. Considering how important he is to Marvel and like to the grand scheme of the Thor comics in general, like even when they go away from him for a while, they always make sure he comes back for something big and really goes into detail of what he's capable of doing. So I would be beyond shocked that he does not come back. I'm telling you, dude, he's going to come back.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be definitely. I don't know. I just don't. I don't see it happening. I mean, they made that death such a like monumental part of part of Ragnarok. Like, I mean,
you gotta
obviously
remember,
that's
dude,
kind
death
of.
means absolutely nothing. And you know this. Death
I
means
mean, yeah,
nothing. They've
I
had
know it
some of
means
the most
nothing in
sentimental
comics.
send-offs for characters, and then like a year or two later, they're right back.
Yeah, but this isn't
How
going
you
to be
doing?
a
I'm
year or
here.
two later. This is going to be. We're talking about a decade later.
Again, they can still have another person. It could be a younger, it could be a different version. The point is, this dude's going to come back. And besides, there's been tons of characters who's been dead for like in real comics who's been dead for 10, 15 years. They show their butt back up.
Well, yeah,
So
like
I mean,
Barry
that's
Allen
happened.
would
That's not an
probably be
odd
the
thing.
number
People
one.
come back. People just come back.
Yeah,
It's comics, dude, and death means nothing.
death means nothing. I agree with you.
And then they do some of the most emotional send-offs for these people when they die. And then they come right back.
Yeah. I have a hard time seeing that happening. But Rob says you don't see Jane in the second season of Loki. Oh, now that might be something. That could be what you're talking about, like the standalone or whatever that we might get. Like, well, I mean, not necessarily standalone because it's Loki show, but yeah, I can see.
We don't or we do.
You said you don't see Jane in the second season of Loki. I see Jane in the second season of Loki. Whether it's a huge part or just an episode or two, I mean, is yet to be seen. But
I can see.
I was actually going to say,
see...
do we see Loki in Thor: Love and Thunder?
I can definitely see him mentioning her towards the end, like definitely if the beginning part of the Loki series is dealing with him being in another dimension or whatever, and he's trying to get back. I can see towards the end when he does get back, him getting information and finding out that she took over, and then I can see that showing up in her standalone movie for sure, trying to see like what actually happened to my brother, whether he's dead or not. To see, oh, you're Thor now? What the hell went down while I was gone? That could be why he's not in this movie, because he's off taking care of his stuff. If I was them, I would not put Loki in this movie.
You wouldn't put Loki in the Love and Thunder.
I would not put him in that movie, no.
Okay.
I would put him
I
in
agree with
her
you there.
movie. Whatever the next Thor movie, I would put him in that, especially if she takes over as Thor. I would put him in that. But I would keep him out of this movie. Yeah, but knowing how big Loki is, I wouldn't be shocked if he show up. But I personally would not put him in this movie. I would make it more about her doing her thing and not take anything away from her by putting Loki in there too.
Yeah, or take anything away from Gore as well. Plus, the Loki character that we have now after the show is a lot more complicated than just Loki, so it is definitely a change there. Plus he's dealing with bigger shit like Kang right now as well.
He should be dealing with his stuff in the other dimension. You can mention Loki, and you can even have Thor be like, damn, I don't know, like, well, to be fair, he doesn't know anything that's going on.
He doesn't know anything that's going on
anyway, so it doesn't matter. He still thinks he's dead anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Right. JBK's dad says if Steve Austin can come back at WrestleMania, Odin can come back into the MCU.
My man, that's right. Because it was announced that Stone Cold, rumored, is going to be back at WrestleMania doing another match. Haven't seen Austin in like 15, 20 years and crap. Matter of fact, Austin's last match was like 2003, 2004. I think it was 2003. Or maybe 2002. Good Lord. But that was Austin's last match. So
I hope he don't pull his lower back or something doing the Stone Cold Stunner. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, I'm saying he's going to go. Yo, the rumor is he's going against Kevin Owens too. And Kevin Owens is the guy currently using the Stone Cold Stunner. So that could be fun.
Oh.
But there's also a rumor that he goes against Goldberg. But I don't know about that. But yeah, he right though. If Stone Cold can come back, bro, Odin can come back stronger than ever, bro.
So I see here, I'm just kind of looking up like timeline wise. So Thor: Love and Thunder is being released in July of this year. Loki season 2, they're saying might release in late 2022, but most likely won't debut until 2023.
That's what I thought. I didn't think it was coming out at all this year.
Yeah.
I'm on the mindset of it being next year.
I think that it won't come out until after Ant-Man because that would make kind of some sense, especially since that's when we're really going to get. Let's see. So Ant-Man Quantumania is going to be released also in July. No, July of 2023. I'm sorry. So it's not until next year, July. So I guess we get season
Thor's
2 of
movie
Loki
or Ant-Man's movie.
Ant-Man's movie.
Yeah, next year. Okay, yeah.
So, well, July of next year. So we're gonna get Loki season 2 before we get Ant-Man. That means we're definitely getting some Kang shit going on somewhere. Somehow, we're getting Kang before that.
No doubt. Because I definitely remember it coming out next year. Because when we talked last time about it, because I was talking about the Fantastic Four, and then you told me the timeline. It was like, all right, yeah, that's perfect. Then you can have Fantastic Four come out in 2024, and that would be an awesome setup for it.
Right. I don't know. So Kang for well, how I'm trying to think of like what Kang is gonna do between now and Ant-Man, because everyone, like, Ant-Man was his first announcement, and then he was basically unleashed at the end of the Loki season. So are we going to get Kang in Doctor Strange? I mean, multiverse of madness.
Sense.
I mean, since
you can
everything's
even
going on with the timeline,
you can even show up as a end credit or so in the Thor Love and whatever, he can show up in that too. Love and Thunder, I guess, whatever it's called.
He can show up literally anywhere
as an end credit, and he can be watching the situation and getting information on things. So I can see him showing up in that for sure.
I could see him showing up in anything.
So yeah, I can see him showing up in both, doing basically the same role. I can see that.
Right. Yeah.
Because you don't have to have him do anything in either movie. He could just be there gathering information on what he needs to be doing. Or whatever plans he wants to do.
Right, for sure. I'm going to switch it up a little bit here. I'm going to talk about the Batman movie, which is hot on our heels, coming out very soon. How excited are you for the Batman movie?
I'm very excited for Batman. I'm looking very forward to it. I think it should be a fun movie.
I just remembered that I really haven't seen the very newest trailer that has come out for that movie. I kind of want to put it out. We didn't watch it recently, did we? I don't think we did.
When did it come out?
The trailer looks like a month ago.
I don't know if we did, though, actually. I don't know if we did.
I honestly don't think that we did. So let's see if I can bring it up. I got it muted. And yeah. So how do you think that Pattinson looks in the mask and the cowl as young Batman?
I don't know. There's times where I feel like it looks awkward. And then other times where I'm like, it's just okay. I never felt it looked great. Or like he looked perfect in it. But not necessarily on him. I think it's just the way they put it together. Gotcha.
Him as Bruce?
No, not him. Not him as Bruce or anything. I'm saying like the way the cowl and the
right.
Crafted.
How do you think he looks as Bruce though? I mean, think of all the Bruces that we've got. We got Michael Keaton. We got Christian Bale.
I think he's fine. I think he's fine as Bruce.
You think he's okay? Okay.
Yeah, he's fine as Bruce.
The long hair kind of throws me a little bit.
Yeah, they could have changed his hair a little bit, but I think he's fine.
It looks like it's definitely going to be super action-packed. That's for sure.
Which I'm pleased with.
Yes, that is going to be exciting. Lots of car chases. I mean, the trailer itself is featuring the Batmobile like 5 scenes already.
Right.
Him coming out of the fire. That I feel like that was in the first trailer.
Now we just need him having sex with a girl on top of somebody's body while the fire is going off. Anyway.
What? Who was that? Hold on. Who was going on here? Back it up a little bit. What's going on here? Who's this character? Who's this fella? Got the mask and the goggles going on. I honestly don't know.
I don't know. It's Deathstroke.
It's Deathstroke. It's not Deathstroke. I feel like we definitely would have heard something about it if it was Deathstroke. I like the everything Riddler going on. Between the question marks, the little clues and hints and everything. I feel like out of all the Batman villains that you could make like real world wise, Riddler is almost like a perfect fucking choice. Out of all of his rogues that you're gonna bring into like a modern day and have him seem like the most like reasonable character. I don't know if reasonable is the right word, but like the one that you could like, yeah, like Riddler. I feel like is definitely top choice for yeah that could actually happen. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like some dude leaving this shit around. Catwoman looks bangable. You know, Selena looks like she could get it. I'm just saying.
Love how that's how we rank Selena. Is she's bangable or not? But all right. But yes, she does look like
I mean, look, she looks like she could get it. She looks like she's probably going to get down with Bruce. I don't know. Something's going to happen there. I feel
something's going to happen. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, a lot of cats going on.
A lot of cats.
A lot of pussy in the house. You know.
Yeah, he wants to pet the pussy. You know, that's not wrong.
Yeah, you know, look right there. It looks like. Oh, see, am I right or am I right? It looks like Catwoman. Look, she even got her eyes closed and everything. It looked like something going to go down here between Batman and the Catman.
The Catman? All right.
Oh my God.
I didn't think she was a man.
Whoa, what was that? I didn't see that in the previous trailer. Oh, man, I keep missing it here. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I was right. So something's definitely going to go down here. You think he fucks in the Batman costume, like full on in costume?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think he's got like some kind of like some way he can whip his dick out of the costume.
Yes.
But still have it protected when he needs it protected. You know what I mean? Like he's figured out some kind of contraption there.
Or at least if everything's off, he still has the cowl on.
Look here, he's got the black light where he's looking for all the jizz stains from him and Catwoman. He's like, who else has been fucking you? Huh? Let me see if there's any other cum stains.
This around this time frame of the
Whoa! Was that the Riddler with the jizz stain and a question mark, bro?
Oh my God!
Look! Bro, what shows under a black light? Urine, blood, and jizz. All right. So obviously, this being, you know, white in color, looks like he's painting some question marks and jizz.
There's a lot of action and sex in this movie, then, huh?
Have it being said here first. Okay. Jizz stain question mark from the Riddler. All right, cool. Let's go on here. Gotham looks eerily like New York. That's weird. It look like Times Squares in Gotham. I didn't know Gotham had a Times Square. Oh, damn. Riddler's a barista now.
Yes.
Yo, this is real life shit because working at Starbucks could turn you into a fucking Gotham supervillain. I'll tell you that right now. People requesting their shit at like a certain temperature with a certain amount of milk. And I want a caramel macchiato at 155. Yeah, that shit'll turn you into the Riddler for sure. So that I can believe. I can believe that. Okay. As someone who worked at something like that for a while. Damn, that was kind of crazy.
Before he become Riddler, now I want him to go to a Starbucks and order that exact thing, and then afterwards he takes his good sip, and then he becomes a Riddler afterwards.
This scene is pretty crazy. They're just shooting at Batman with fucking automatic weapons, and he's just eating that shit, bro.
That's the thing people be forgetting sometimes. Batman's suit is overall bulletproof.
Yeah,
a lot of his suits are.
Okay. Bulletproof or not, if you're taking the fire, that looks like it's got to be like 10 feet away. If you're taking the fire of 2 machine guns 10 feet away, you're going to feel something.
This is Batman's money. All right? This is Batman's money. There's a reason why this dude has a gadget for everything. So, nah, bro. Batman's world? Nah, this is fair enough to me. No complaints.
Look, he don't even slow down. He's just
no complaints. That's Batman.
Hold on. Here's my question. Okay, you see
Yeah.
Batman coming down the hallway like that, and then I mean, you can clearly see from the gunfire, right? Well, you can't see when it's a little bit dark, but goddamn it, hold on. That his chin is exposed.
Yes.
Just fucking raised your line of fire just a little bit.
That I agree with.
Aim for the mouth, bro.
Aim for the face.
Aim for the mouth. What the fuck? You're just shooting him in the chest. That's not working. He's still walking towards you. Just point up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Blow his fucking mouth
with.
off. Okay. All right. Cool. He don't have no bulletproof chin. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, I'm be aiming for your teeth, bruh. Get you a whole new smile.
This says where it all began. Are we doing like a Batman Year One storyline type thing, or what's going on there?
Well, obviously this is earlier Batman, so it could be Year One, but I definitely feel this is like a Batman that's been Batman for at least a year or two.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So yeah, this is definitely an early one. I don't think this is going to be like the Batman origin, like where this is how he becomes Batman. I don't think that's it, but I do think there's going to be a Batman who's been around for like at least 6 months to a year, maybe 2.
Okay. I think they have gone on record saying that it's not going to be an origin story,
which is good. That would just honestly at this point it'll be pointless. That would be dumb.
He looks a little thin. Don't he look a little thin? Is it just me, or does he look a little thin? Weren't there reports that like he was overweight and they had to like trim him down or whatever? And now I don't know. I feel like he looks a tiny bit thin. But maybe just because he's young, he's a kid or whatever. He just looks thin. All right, we got a little more sex scenes with Catwoman. That's exciting.
That's exciting.
You know, damn, what was going on there? Who was that? Shiesty character.
Deathstroke.
Who? They are not all Deathstroke, Chris.
Yes, they are.
Looks like he just got out of the car. So either he's a pawn. It looks like he's got something around the neck. So I'm guessing maybe he's just a pawn. He's just strapped up in a bomb or whatever. And he's, to blow everybody up. Let's see what else we got here. More Batman, explosions, New York City, aka Gotham.
New York City.
Hey, it looked like New York City to me. I don't know. Damn, was that him flying the Batmobile off of a building, bro? Or was that just him flying? Okay, I think maybe it was.
I think that's him.
I think I got a little too excited there. I thought he was like driving. I thought he was driving the Batmobile off of a fucking skyscraper.
Bro, it went so quick shit. That was actually Superman carrying him.
Yeah. Damn, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You see that shit?
I love that Batman.
Bro, he's beating people with fucking guns. Oh my god, that was dope. That was. I love
that logo. The way they shows the Batman. You got the bat symbol in the middle. That looks sick. That red Batman. That looks sick.
You talking about? Hold on, let me see. Right here with right there. Oops.
That there, and then you got the bat in the middle of it. That is sick. I love that logo.
Okay. All right. So I'm excited. We're going to be going to see it together, which is exciting. Yeah, man, that's gonna be a good one. I think I'm really looking forward to it. 3 hours or not, like I think it's gonna be cool. I know we have confirmed Riddler, Penguin, which I guess did I miss it or did we not see much Penguin in that trailer?
I don't know. Maybe I missed him, and maybe he's in one of the trailers, but I don't remember him. But he could have been in one of the trailers, and I just overlooked it, or I didn't.
Aim for the mouth is Selena's line. Says Chippy King's dad. It's ridiculous. I mean, maybe I just didn't notice him, but I didn't really see him in that trailer. Although I guess
it was definitely more focused on the Riddler for sure.
We saw stuff from the Riddler, but did we really see the Riddler at all?
Maybe he was one of the guys, but no, I don't think we saw him neither. It was just more, but that was fun how they did it though.
Yeah,
you didn't have to actually show him. The way they did it was perfect,
exactly.
Especially for the Riddler's character.
Exactly.
his whole thing is not to actually show himself that much, is to get you to figure it out to get to him, or whatever, figure out whatever his plans are.
Right, and I hope they play to that in the actual movie itself too, where we don't actually get to see him in full garb for a while. I also hope that it's not as loud of a costume as when Jim Carrey was wearing the Riddler suit. I mean, nothing against Jim Carrey as the Riddler. I feel like he saved that whole fucking movie because that movie was trash. But that costume, definitely very loud of a costume. So hopefully it's a little more, I don't know.
A little more Scotty, calm down, you know? Scotty, calm down. Scotty.
Well, I mean, Joker in The Dark Knight, he still had his purple suit or whatever, but it was definitely like a street grind.
But it was definitely more of a modern take and not as crazy as some of the older ones.
So that's kind of what I'm hoping there. Same with the Penguin. However they do the Penguin, hopefully don't turn up. I mean, again, nothing against Danny DeVito, but they did kind of, clown him a little bit into that costume that he had going on as well. So I'm excited. It's only what are we seeing? In 2 weeks we're seeing it? Not even a week and a half?
Yeah, you're right, dude.
Yeah, so a week and a half.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in Greenville. We're gonna be going to a show on Saturday, me and you and Dakota.
Yep.
We're going to a little show, which might take like half a day. It's not gonna take that long, but I gotta do a little bit of work with the show, and then we get to chill, hang out, and go see the Batman.
Yep.
Hell yeah, I'm excited.
Hell yeah, indeed. It's gonna be freaking awesome.
All right, and with that, we're gonna bring this podcast to a close. Appreciate everyone hanging out. Again, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Whether you're catching it live or on the replay, we appreciate you. We will see you next week on Tuesday.
Go tell your friends, your mama, your mama's friends, your daddy, your daddy's friends, granny friends, granddad friends. We need some sponsors, bro. We need some sponsors. Tell everybody.
We appreciate you guys hanging out. We'll be back next Tuesday at 8. And as always, stay villainous and
fuck the fantastic.